First full day on the job, and it's up with the national anthem and a clenched fist.
Welcome to this inaugural prayer service.
The virtual presidential inaugural prayer would have been at Washington's National Cathedral. Instead, thanks to COVID, the cathedral came to them via Zoom.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
And a prayer in Arabic from this Yemeni-American activist who led the protest against Donald Trump's Muslim travel ban that Biden has already overturned. As Joe Biden and wife Jill watched the meticulously planned pageantry from their balcony, the president was likely digesting news of practically no plan for vaccine distribution from the Trump team, even as deaths continue to soar. Hence COVID top of the pile on the Oval Office desk.
And the first order I'm going to be signing here relates to COVID.
If ever there was an image that captured Biden's desire to rid America of his predecessor's worst excesses, him signing 16 executive orders on day one was surely it.
Hello, team.
And who needs a posh ceremony when you can gather all 1,000 new White House staff on 3 large screens?
Raise your right hand.
And have them swear the oath of office via Zoom, with one very Biden footnote.
If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot. On the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Please raise your right hand.
Over on the Senate floor, it was hiring, not firing, on the vice president's agenda. The 2 new Democratic senators from Georgia, the state where Donald Trump had pressed to find 11,000 extra votes. But there was another appointment too.
A certificate of appointment to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of former Senator Kamala D. Harris of California. Yeah, that was very weird. Okay.
The new president and his first lady did manage to stick to one inaugural ritual yesterday, walking hand in hand down Pennsylvania Avenue into the White House, giving the Secret Service a little jolt with his unscripted diversion to reporters along the way.
Good to see you. I know. It's been 3 hours. How does it feel, Mr. President? Feels great. It feels good? Feels good. All righty.
And a Democratic Party just isn't a party without Bruce Springsteen.
Faith will be rewarded on this train.
But who, like the majority of A-listers, wouldn't so much as get out of bed for President Trump? But they sure did last night.
It's all right.
Led by another national treasure, Tom Hanks, there to present a united front, even as the Twitterati begged someone to fetch him a warm coat.
Well, I think the fact that the 3 of us are standing here talking...
And in a moment that in the past might have felt slightly awkward, but post-Trump felt strangely endearing, a triumvirate of former presidents cast politics aside with a shared message for their new leader.
Mr. President, I'm pulling for your success. Your success is our country's success, and God bless you.
We've learned that quiet isn't always peace.
But it wasn't an A-lister who stole the show. Instead, a 22-year-old poet from California who wowed with her inauguration finale.
For there was always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it.
Wow, you're awesome. I'm so transfixed.
So impressive that Hillary Clinton tweeted the poet should run for president in 2036.
President Gorman has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Madam President Gorman, I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Well,
and suddenly joy and a hope for a brighter future seems to have returned.
Now, you won't be able to recognize the White House behind me, but it is there, I reassure you. And in the next few days, all those barricades and those flags and those protests will disappear, as indeed will the troops here on the streets of the Capitol. And I think we can be fairly certain that Washington and its politics will return quite swiftly to some degree of normality that we really haven't seen here in about a year. Now, as seen in Siobhan's piece, American school teacher and community organizer Dr. Debbie Almontaser made history today as the first Muslim American woman to offer a prayer by reciting the Quran at the presidential inauguration service this morning, the prayer service. She joins me now from New York. Thank you very much for coming on the program. What did your inclusion in that service this morning mean to you personally?
Well, first, thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share my experience. I have to say that today is momentous. It's historical for me as a Yemeni American Muslim woman to have this opportunity. I come from a people that have been banned. As you know, Yemen was on the Muslim ban, and just having me there was very symbolic. One, as a Muslim, and two, as a Yemeni American, to show that the pain and suffering that American Muslims and Yemeni Americans and others who've been banned has been affirmed and will be repealed. And as you know, last night, the Muslim ban was repealed, which is really a glorious day for all of us.
Is there anything else that this administration should be doing to make Muslims in America feel more included?
I think that so far they have been on a great start by making sure to appoint high-ranking Muslim Americans into the government. It's been really wonderful to see a number of people that have actually been appointed. I believe we need to do more of that, but most importantly, to deliver on the promises that were made during the campaign. And some of those promises after the Muslim ban is actually making sure that Arab Americans are designated as minorities for educational opportunities and work opportunities. And for me, as a Yemeni American, ensuring that the war in Yemen will be stopped, that there will be a resolution to this war. This was a promise and commitment that President Biden made during the campaign to restore the aid that was cut off by Donald Trump by 40%, to make sure that he was going to bring all parties in Yemen and the EAU and Saudi Arabia to ensure a peace plan was underway to end the war. And so I would be remiss by not mentioning also with the Muslim ban, making sure that refugees are included, as well as all of the diversity visa winners who didn't get a chance to come in the last 4 years, to retroactively give them diversity visas.